Come to Ben's English Lab, Ben's English Lab, Ben's English Lab.
In the last class, I talked about the major difference that exists between the phrase on behalf of and the phrase in behalf of. And today, I have 5 questions to re-explain, to revise everything that I talked about in that video. For those who haven't had a chance of seeing that, here is another opportunity for you to catch up on the thing that I talked about in that video. Here is a chance for you to understand the difference that exists between these two phrases. But this is how this segment will work. Firstly, I will answer for out of these 5 questions. And finally, the last question, the fifth question will be for you to answer. Are you ready? If you are, then let's get to the class. The first question here says, the ambassador spoke Dutch, the president during the international conference. I take that again. The ambassador spoke Dutch, the president during the international conference. And we have 2 options to look at. The first is in behalf of, and we have on behalf of. Actually, this is the small letter because the answer is within the sentence. Okay. So if I have to take that again, I beg your pardon. The ambassador spoke Dutch, the president during the international conference, and then we have in behalf of, and then we have on behalf of. Based on that explanation, you know that when you use in behalf of, you're talking about what you do directly to people that benefits them. In that case, you're not acting as an intermediary, or you're not acting as a substitute or as a representative of somebody else. But in the case of on behalf of, you're talking about you functioning as a representative of somebody. So acting in the capacity of other people. That is what that's about. So in this case, the ambassador spoke Dutch the president during the international conference. So this person, the context here is that of the ambassador speaking on behalf of the president. Perhaps this happened because the president wasn't around, because he had other functions to attend to. So the ambassador had to stand in for the president. And in that case, we have on behalf of. So that's why option B is the right answer for the first question. Remember, we use on behalf of. Beg your pardon. So again, B is the right answer because on behalf of is used in the capacity wherein the subject is acting on behalf, the subject is acting as a substitute, as a representative for another person. So that's that about that. Question 2 says, the charity concert was organized, dash, the victims of the flood. The charity concert was organized, dash, the victims of the flood. We have 2 options again, on behalf of and in behalf of. In this case, you're going to notice that this charity, the charity concert, was organized, was put together in the interest of the victims. And when you do things in the interest of people directly, we have in behalf of, in behalf of. So that is why option B is still the right answer here. Option B. So the right sentence should be, the charity concert was organized in behalf of the victims of the flood. Because the charity concert here was organized, was put together in the interest of these people. Usually, when you have victims of certain bad situations, it is not the victims that put up concert. It's people of interest that come together, concerned individuals who come together to organize fundraisers for the cause of the victim. So in this case, we have people who acted directly in the interest of the people who were affected by the flood, in the interest of the people who were affected by the flood. So again, B is the right answer. Okay. Number 3, the lawyer signed the agreement that his client, who was overseas. The lawyer signed the agreement that his client, who was overseas. The picture here is very clear. We have the lawyer, we have his client. Okay, 2 individuals. Now, this person is client. The client here was, because this sentence is in the past, was overseas. Okay. Now, because this person was overseas at the time that the agreement had to be signed, then this person functioned, the lawyer functioned in the capacity of his client. So this person is functioning on behalf of this person. This person here, the lawyer, is representing the individual here. So that's why option B is the right answer. What have I got to do with B? PL because my name begins with B also. B, 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 B. All right. So the lawyer signed the agreement on behalf of his client who was overseas. Remember, we just on behalf. When somebody acts in the capacity of another person, when somebody functions as a substitute, as a representative of another person, perhaps because the other person, um, perhaps because the other person is incapacitated or because that person is unavailable to take that responsibility. So finally, from my end, question 4 says, several activists protested Dutch to endangered animals. Several activists protested Dutch to endangered animals on behalf of, in behalf of. Now, question 4 can be a little tricky, but as much as it feels tricky, the answer is pretty straightforward. Yes. The reason I said it's tricky is in that it's possible that both options in this case are correct. It's possible, but I'll explain those options and at the same time explain why one answer should be the perfect for this question. So several activists protested Dutch to endangered animals. We have an endangered animal, or we have endangered animals. So we have endangered animals. Okay, so the animals here are the victim, right? They are the victims. And you don't expect animals to protest. It's impossible. In any case, you don't expect animals to pick up placards and protest the actions of humans against them. So in this sort of situation, what happens is you don't act on behalf of animals. It's impossible because animals don't have equal rights as humans. That's just the reality, okay? So what happens for things or for entities that don't have equal rights as you? What happens is you act. You act in the interest of such entities, not on behalf of such entities, right? If you have a baby, an infant, an underage, for example, you don't act on behalf of your child. What you do is you act in the real interest of your child. Of course, on the law, it's only clear that underage, I mean children, babies, kids, don't have the mental capacity to know what is good for them. So what happens in that case is the parent or the guardian will act in their interest. So that's why this question here is talking about people protesting in the interest of their animals, in the interest of the endangered animals. And in that case, you know that acting in the interest of something or acting in the interest of someone simply means in behalf of, okay? But when you do things, what you represent to those people, your answer is on behalf of. So, several activists protested Dutch to endangered animals. Several activists protested in behalf of the endangered animals. Now, if we have human beings here, for example, we have human beings here. No, sorry, adults. Several activists protested Dutch to endangered people. And for people that are familiar with Nigerian politics, you will understand that Omoyele Sowore, the founder and presidential candidate of AAC, African Action Congress, is always on the habit of protesting on behalf of people. He protests on behalf of Nigerians. He protests also in the interest of people. So both options in this case may be correct depending on what is here, right? So if you have several activists protested in behalf of the endangered people, in behalf. Now, the endangered people do not have the power to function. They don't have the power to. So it's not a case that they're delegating the responsibility of protesting to others. Rather, it is this active activists who come out to understand what it means to fight for the rights of other people. So in that case, several activists protested on behalf of people, can be correct. Several activists protested in behalf of the endangered people is also another correct option. But in this case, remember the animals here do not have the mental awareness to know that injustice has been done to them, right? So it's the people that are aware who act directly in the interest of the affected entity. So that is that about my own part of the questions. So with all that I've said while answering these 4 questions, I want to believe that you have a better knowledge, a better understanding of the major difference that exists between the phrase on behalf of and the phrase in behalf of. So what you're going to do now is to play your own Piccolo. You're going to play your own part of the game. What you're going to do now is to answer, to go ahead and answer question 5 that says the VP here is an acronym for Vice President. The Vice President, the VP, received the reward dash the President who could not attend the event. So what I'm trying to say is we have the VP, the Vice President, we have the President, we have a function to be performed. So in what capacity? Let me know what your answer is in the comment. Will your answer be in behalf of the President or on behalf of the President who could not attend the event? Thanks a lot for watching to this very end. Remember to give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and then remember to share this content with many who may need it. See you next time. Bye for now.